The good old days of CrossFit. Oh, how do we miss them? That's what we're going to talk about today. If you're somebody who hasn't been CrossFitting for that long and you don't really know how fun CrossFit used to be, or if you're one of the old G CrossFitters and you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the good old fun days of CrossFit, right? I even put on my CrossFit Alaska shirt. CrossFit Alaska was one of the first 300 affiliates worldwide. I opened it back in 2008. I have since sold it, but it's still running today. And man, did we have some good times back in the day. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Welcome to the channel, Old Guy Inc., where I talk a little bit about everything. And that means mostly CrossFit, right? So do me a favor, please hit subscribe, hit like, comment. I'd love to hear about you and your memories and what you remember about CrossFit. Now, I'm not saying that CrossFit right now is totally lame and boring, although some might argue that. I'm just talking about how good it used to be. And man, I don't even know where to start. So when I opened CrossFit Alaska back in 2008, okay, this is for those folks who got into CrossFit recently. Are you ready for this? Rogue didn't used to always be around, right? Check this out. We built our first pull-up rack. Like there was no rig. You couldn't order a rig, right? I mean, we had to take like 4x4s and concrete anchor it to the floor and buy galvanized piping and put this whole dangerous contraption together. I mean, man, I got a few photos I got to see if I can dig out of just some amazing feats of engineering that we had to create, right? And there also was no Reebok, no CrossFit Reebok, which of course now we've moved on and there's so many other people in the CrossFit world. But man, actually CrossFit Alaska, way back in the day when Reebok was first trying to get into the CrossFit scene, right? And they were trying to kind of sell it to the big wigs. They had a budget and they went around and they picked 5 gyms around the world. And CrossFit Alaska was one of them. And they flew up. We did this huge weekend production of like a photo shoot, and it made a great video that worked. And so when they showed that video about CrossFit to the bigwigs, that's when Reebok decided, hey, we're going to get in this market. It was so exciting to just be part of the growth of CrossFit, and the introduction of Reebok to the game and being part of that was so amazing. And I'll try to put the link to that video. It's called the Reebok CrossFit Anthem, I believe, and it is a great nostalgic video. Just so many good memories. And I think right now that semifinals pretty much just wrapped up is a good time where to just talk about how much fun regionals used to be. And if you were around for regionals, you know what I mean. Regionals was such a fun time. It's just back before the super teams and all that sort of stuff and these elite teams where everybody gets together. Regionals was such an amazing time because it just seemed like your gym had a chance. It's like you felt much more connected to the entire sport of CrossFit, because whether it was your gym in particular or just a gym in your area, okay, there was just everybody knew somebody who had a chance to qualify for regionals or had a chance to qualify a team. And man, did it just bring a whole new level of fun and excitement to the CrossFit Open that I just don't really think exists today. I think gyms try their hardest, and you know, we still, like, I have never missed a CrossFit Open since the beginning. I've done them all. I love doing it. It's more of a tradition now, though, than it is just this super amazing community event. And so, you know, I still love the CrossFit Open. I really do. But man, it's just not the same. I mean, it was so cool because the way it was set up was anybody in your gym could post a top score for a workout. And then it didn't matter like who you decided. It was a little tricky, right? You had to decide what team you were going to send to regionals. But basically, your affiliate could qualify based on just whatever the top scores were. So there would be athletes in that gym, like me in particular. I was never good enough to be a regional level athlete per se or be on a team, but I was good enough that if I had one really good workout, I might have one of the top scores in the gym, and then the team could use my score and that would help qualify them, if that makes sense. So it just made everybody feel a little bit more like an actual team, an affiliate team. Nowadays, our affiliate teams are not affiliates. I mean, they're super teams, they train by themselves, and they're really not part of their local, like, affiliate. I mean, their community, their box, they're not in there working in and day out. And that's what it used to be. And man, was it so much fun. When that open came around, there was so much community support, whether anyone from your gym was going, you knew somebody from another gym, and that gym might have a chance of making it. Regionals was just a total blast. It's nothing like semifinals is today. And I don't know, it's just I actually was talking to somebody about it today, and I feel a little bit sorry for some of the affiliates who have just joined in the last couple of years. You know what? Maybe I don't feel sorry for them because you don't know what you're missing. I think owning an affiliate today is still awesome. It's still fun. You are providing an amazing service to the community and promoting health and wellness and creating an awesome environment for functional fitness. And I'm still all about it. I am long since no longer an affiliate owner, but I do still coach. I stay involved in CrossFit. It's still my number one hobby and passion. And I try not to dump on CrossFit too much. And I'm not here to say the new CrossFit is trash. CrossFit is fucked up. But I will say there is clearly a difference between the new CrossFit and the old CrossFit. And there's so many variables there, right? Whether it's Greg Glassman leaving, despite how you feel about him personally, Greg Glassman changed the world. The world. Greg Glassman took on giants like Coca-Cola and was willing to go against pharmaceutical companies and just say enough is enough with pushing this false narrative. And he changed the outlook of fitness and nutrition, and who knows where it's going to stop. I mean, he has changed the world. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the man deserves a statue. I don't give two shits what he said or who he's offended. Although those things might not be condoned, what he did for society in general is absolutely amazing. And to be part of that was super awesome. Him leaving was a bummer in that sense. And let's be honest, I don't care what anybody says, CrossFit has not changed for the better since then. I mean, then you fast forward to now we've gotten rid of Dave Castro. I mean, just the heart and soul of the CrossFit Games and the CrossFit Open, and just embodies pretty much everything that made CrossFit what it is. I mean, who doesn't love to hate Dave Castro, right? The reality is he's an amazing person. I have spoken to him in person. I have met him. I have communicated with him frequently throughout my years as an affiliate. So once again, a little nostalgia for you. So way back in 2010, there were no regionals, like official regionals the way people remember them, where you had to qualify for them through the Open. Things were totally different. There was no CrossFit Open. So they kind of had these regional events, but there was no CrossFit Open to qualify for them. So one year, when they were obviously brainstorming, how are we going to create a qualification process, they tried something called sectionals. And different sectionals, kind of like regionals, different sectionals, different areas around the country and the world got awarded the ability to host one of these sectional events. And then the top 3 athletes from each, there was just one division back then, just male and female. And the top 3 athletes from those divisions would get invites to their local regional. And living up in Alaska, okay, we are normally part of the Northwest region. And so we were going to have to travel down to Seattle and compete with them. Anyways, long story short, I reached directly out to Dave. He got back to me and I pleaded my case for why I thought CrossFit Alaska should host an Alaska sectional, like why we should have our own sectional in Alaska and why CrossFit Alaska, should host it. And it was kind of a back and forth really before we got there. And he said, hey, well, present your case, convince me. So I gave him all the reasons why I thought we should do it and why we could do it. And he got back to me and said, sold. And he awarded us the ability to do that after the fact. And it was amazing. So we hosted this event. It was like a statewide event in Alaska. It was the first of its kind. We qualified 3 athletes to go down then to what was kind of the beginning of regionals in Washington. And man, it was amazing. Dave was amazing with what he did. He had a persona and he used that persona and it kind of created like this stick, right? Where Dave's a prick, and it was fun to hate Dave. But the reality is Dave was CrossFit. Greg Glassman and Dave together were team CrossFit. And although there still are some of the old guard involved to some degree in CrossFit, man, I mean, CrossFit's a clusterfuck right now. And for folks who've been around since 2008, folks who were around before Rogue existed, it's hard. It hurts us to see what CrossFit has become. So if you're somebody out there who's in love with CrossFit and enjoying it and you were just exposed to it in the last couple of years, all I can say is, man, do your history, right? You probably know about Dave. You've probably heard of Greg Glassman, but I'm not sure you really understand what it took and what everybody fought for to get CrossFit where it is today. I mean, if you opened an affiliate in 2008, okay, and you were the first of 300, you were not only the first one in your city, you were the first one in your entire state to open a CrossFit affiliate, okay? You took a lot of heat. You took a lot of shit. All the other gyms teamed up against you and they tried to bring down CrossFit. And people were publicizing and publishing articles with complete fake information, trying to paint CrossFit in this bad light. And you had to really, really believe in what Greg Glassman and Dave Castro were selling. And I was one of those lucky folks, and we stuck through it. And I know I said this, but shout out, CrossFit Alaska is still around today and doing amazing up in Alaska. So big props out to CrossFit Alaska, one of the OG CrossFits, still going strong. And if that's you out there, dude, high five, boop, 10. If you have pushed past the 10-year mark, then you have been in this through thick and thin. And unfortunately, right now it's pretty thin, I think, unfortunately. It's a little bit thin, and even myself, I'm having a little hard time staying motivated. There's a lot of negativity going on. There's a lot of uncertainty about what the future of CrossFit is going to hold. And I don't know. Sometimes I just look back and I am a little sad when I remember, although I still love CrossFit to this day, I mean, just passionately, it's a little bit sad sometimes when I just remember how much fun we used to have, how tight-knit of a community we used to be. You know, it was kind of that us against the world mentality. Now, excuse me, I'm glad that some of that has gone away because CrossFit has now grown in popularity and has become more readily acceptable. I think it's a good thing that we've lost some of that us against the world, because a lot of the world now has come to recognize, man, functional fitness, right? The methodology of CrossFit in particular and the vision of Greg Glassman, it has withstood the test of time. People know that it works. It has just proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is the wave of the future. And of course, now we have everybody else, you know, trying to copy functional fitness, and that's great, right? That is absolutely great. But CrossFit will always be at the center of functional fitness. I just hope that we continue to move forward, push the boundaries, and once CrossFit gets their shit together and we can finally actually have a CEO and somebody who sticks around and some folks who know what they're doing, I'm still here to support CrossFit and have their back and hope nothing but the best for CrossFit, right? I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. It's in my blood. It's part of my family. And hopefully it is yours too. So anyways, if you're watching this video, you probably love CrossFit too. If you're discouraged right now, try to keep a positive attitude. Do your best to be a light in your gym. Keep everything fun and exciting. Don't let any of the negativity or the talk get you down. You know, there's a lot of shit going on right now, me included, who spend a lot of time talking about all the things CrossFit is doing wrong. But you know what? CrossFit's also done a lot right. They're going to continue to do a lot right. And so I'm still optimistic about the future, but I do miss the past just a little bit. The good old days of CrossFit. Take care, everybody.